documents reveal new details about possible immigrant deportation plans here in LA.
Students who plan to live on campus should brace for a hit to their wallets.
And stay tuned to hear George Floyd's brother talk about fighting for social justice.
Annenberg TV News is next.
LA residents face more uncertainty amid leaked deportation plans. Hi, I'm Kayla Quintero.
And I'm Lawrence Sung. The leaked plans say employees from the FBI and DEA will help ICE agents with the raids. Here with more on the story is politics anchor Benjamin Gamson.
The Los Angeles Times is reporting leaked government documents indicate LA may see large-scale immigration enforcement by the end of this month.
But it's very difficult for someone who is unsure of their rights, who's intimidated by an officer coming up wearing tactical gear with a gun and a badge, and sort of yelling or shouting at you. Even if you've been educated in your rights, people are intimidated and they might answer questions. And if you tell an immigration officer that you're illegally present in the United States, you're going to be arrested. It's as simple as that.
In response to the leaked memo, the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security posted on X, quote, "The FBI is so corrupt. We will work with any and every agency to stop leaks and prosecute these crooked deep state agents to the fullest extent of the law." The fear of possible raids is hitting close to home. A USC sophomore shared how her dad spotted an ICE vehicle with the help of social media.
The fact that they have to be scared to even step outside of their house is a very sad thing. That he was just filling his truck ready to go to work, and he had recognized the cars that had been posted all over social media, and he got in his car and he booked it to the nearest freeway that he could. He told me that he noticed that there was a car following him, and it happened to be the same car that he had noticed that was ICE. And because there was so much traffic in the freeway, he was actually able to lose them.
She told her dad to be careful when he goes to work or the grocery store. Although her family is worried, she says they're leaning on their faith during this uncertain time.
President Trump's Secretary of Education nominee Linda McMahon is still waiting Senate approval. Meanwhile, the department is already undergoing major changes.
What are you doing here? Security responsibility.
Get out of the way. We pay you. We pay for your job. We pay you.
Lawmakers were denied entry to the Department of Education when they tried to meet with the acting secretary. The group included U.S. Congress members Maxine Waters and Mark Takano of California. The standoff was the result of President Trump's promise to dismantle and eventually shut down the Department of Education and change LGBTQ policies and critical race theory. Key roles of the DOE include providing financial aid, promoting equal access in education spaces by enforcing laws against discrimination, improving education, overseeing schools, and conducting research on education and training techniques. McMahon is a former businesswoman. She will answer questions from the Senate's Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee. That hearing is scheduled for Thursday morning. Elon Musk has his eyes on OpenAI. The Tesla mogul made a $97.4 billion bid for the company's nonprofit assets, but CEO Sam Altman says no thanks.
Look, OpenAI is not for sale. The OpenAI mission is not for sale. Elon tries all sorts of things for a long time. This is this week's episode. I wish he would just compete by building a better product, but I think there's been a lot of tactics, many lawsuits, all sorts of other crazy stuff. Now this, and we'll try to just put our head down and keep working.
Musk responded to Altman in a post on X, calling him a, quote, swindler. Meanwhile, OpenAI is waiting on a new round of funding that could value the company as high as $300 billion.
Air Force One is currently in international waters, for the first time in history, flying over the recently renamed Gulf of America.
As of today, the Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America on Apple Maps. The move follows President Trump's executive order. The Gulf of Mexico was originally named after Mexica, the indigenous name for the Aztecs. Its waters are jointly used by the U.S., Mexico, and Cuba. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum argued that there is no basis in international law for the name change. She asked Google to reconsider.
He's flirting with the Constitution. He's flirting with long-held institutional norms in the United States and in the U.S. relationship, the foreign policy relationship with our allies. The U.S. does not have claim to those very rich gas and oil reserves on the south side of the Gulf.
What you see on your Google map will depend on your location. In Mexico, your map will still say the Gulf of Mexico. In other countries, the map will list both names. Google revised the maps yesterday, being the first to make the name change.
Students living in USC apartments will be paying twice as much for their meal plan beginning in the fall. The new prices are for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. The new plan is called the Flex 120 plan. This year, the apartment plan is $835 a semester. That includes 40 meal swipes and $150 dining dollars. The newly named Flex 120 will be $1,975 a semester. Meal swipes will increase to $120. Dining dollars stay at $150.
I feel like having that as an option is really nice because I'm someone who doesn't know how to cook a lot. But making that a requirement is kind of crazy because there are people who would actually prefer not to have that.
I absolutely hate it. I think if you're going to more than double the price, it should be optional. And we're college students, we don't have that much money. So, and I'm also learning how to cook and stuff for next year. So I don't want to have to depend on the meal plan.
The change is said to help the transition from the unlimited meal plan for non-first-year students. In a statement to Annenberg Media, the university said, quote, "The apartment plan was found to be inadequate in providing meals throughout the semester. The new meal plan ensures meals at a lower cost per meal and provides flexibility for dining throughout campus and on the mobile app." Price increases happen every year. Last year, the increase was only $80. Today, the USC Charlotta Bass Lab brought civil rights advocates to the Annenberg Forum. This is the third annual event which honors Bass, a journalist and civil rights activist who fought racism, segregation, and police brutality. Bass was an editor of one of the oldest black newspapers on the West Coast and was the first black woman to run for U.S. Vice President. Today's speakers were civil rights lawyer Lee Merritt and George Floyd's brother, Philonis. They shared their takeaways on the importance of continuing civil rights storytelling.
How important it is that we own the narrative in journalism as it pertains to civil rights, human rights, and legal outcomes. That the work of journalists runs parallel to the work of human rights activists, and that the synergy is necessary for us to see real progress complete.
I just want people to have an understanding that their life matter. So whatever it is, they gotta speak out, they gotta mobilize, organize, and the more that you get out and vote, you can change a lot of things, the things that you want.
While the Charlotta Bass Lab is a permanent program here at Annenberg, her actual birthday celebration is February 14th.
The USG elections are coming up next week, and tonight the presidential and vice presidential candidates will debate. The USG candidates will have the opportunity to showcase their platforms and convince their fellow students why they deserve the top spot.
We have the room ready, we have the mics on, everything is set up. We have Annenberg Media and Daily Trojan on deck as moderators as well for this debate. So it'll be a collaboration between all three of us, which is really exciting. The candidates are, they're not aware of the rules, which is actually going to be really fun because they'll just know the day of at that time.
The debate is tonight from 8 to 9:30 at the Campus Center Forum. Voting begins tomorrow. Voting begins online next Tuesday, the 18th, and ends the 21st.
LA is going to be hit by 2 atmospheric rivers this week. We'll have details on how to stay safe.
Students battled for the top prize at USC's first Bio Festival. Hear from one of the winners next.
Plus, the Earth's core may not be as stable as you think. We'll tell you why next on ATVN.
I'm Amy Grant. There was nothing about my life that said, you have a ticking time bomb in your chest. But I did. A few months later, I had open heart surgery that saved my life. And I owe it to the research and life-saving medical breakthroughs developed by the American Heart Association. Heart disease is America's #1 killer, so listen to your heart. I'm here today because I did. Learn more at helpheart.org.
As a mom, I want my kids' lives to be filled with joy and possibility, and I want that for every kid. That's why I support No Kid Hungry. They work in schools and communities to make sure every kid gets the healthy meals they need. Please join me in supporting No Kid Hungry for all kids.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
A new discovery by a team of researchers has found new information about the Earth's inner core. Up until now, it was a decades-long mystery just what made up the core deep inside the Earth. A new study has shown that the 1,500-mile-wide core has liquid elements of iron and nickel, opposed to what was once believed to be hard elements. USC professor of Earth Sciences John Vidal led the study after initially looking into the speed of the core's rotation from analyzing earthquakes near Antarctica.
If we look carefully, we can see it seems to turn back and forth with a period of about 70 years. Now that we can tell how it's moving, we can tell that more is going on than just moving. It looks like the surface of the inner core is actually changing over time, rising and falling a little bit, enough to change the waves that are going through.
As you can see here, the Earth's interior is made of the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. The recent studies have focused on that very center that you see highlighted.
USC hosted its first ever Bio Festival. Students played games, ate tacos, and participated in a research poster competition. Students presented a variety of topics at the festival, ranging from visualizing cells used in insulin production to studying pancreatic cancer. We asked competitors how they would feel if they won. Zachary Krieger, a PhD molecular biology student, won the competition and $5,000 to further his research. And a warning tonight about a massive storm heading our way. Let's check with Lorelei. How bad is it going to be?
Well, Kayla, the Los Angeles National Weather Service is calling it the largest storm of the season, and warnings have been issued across LA County for heavy rain, damaging winds, and significant flooding.
So with these type of rainfall totals, we tend to see those type of impacts. And then there's a high risk for burn scar and debris flows. Now, the most likely outcome is that most of the burn scars will see those debris flows of more of a shallow nature that really just focuses impacts on the roads. And in particular, we still want to highlight the Palisades and Franklin burn scars, the Eaton burn scars, and the Bridge burn scars because of their focus on the terrain. They're in areas where it tend to get enhanced rainfall amounts and rates, as well as fairly low thresholds because of the freshness of those burn scars.
So how do you prepare to stay safe? Well, experts recommend you secure your property with sandbags if needed, pack a go bag with your essentials, and stay home if you don't need to go out. The #1 thing you can do is listen to your local officials and know your evacuation routes. The Pacific Coast Highway will remain closed from Chautauqua Boulevard to Carbon Beach Terrace in Malibu until further notice. Expect delays in your commute this week as heavy rainstorms pound the area. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we do have a lot of rain in the coming week. I'm Lorelei Rohrbach, and this is the weather forecast. Let's take a look at the current weather. So it is 56 degrees right now, which isn't too bad for a walk to the dining hall, but tonight around 4 a.m. we are getting a heavy rain, which will kick off the week's rains. Let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. As I mentioned, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have rainy skies ahead. If you are making the commute to USC, try to stay off the road on Thursday. Allow yourself that extra time because that is the biggest day for floods. We're taking a look at my co-anchors, Kayla and Lawrence. Coming back to the 5-day forecast, thank you. As I mentioned, we have rainy skies ahead, but hey, let's look at the weekend. We have good news. There will be sunny skies ahead. And guess what? The National Weather Service told me that this is the last of the rain for February, so just hold out with your umbrella for this week. Hey, I hear there is a new segment going on over at sports. That's it for weather today. JD, tell us about it.
That's correct, Lorelei. We have a new segment on the block today where we will highlight impressive Trojan accomplishments from the past week. It's game day today for men's basketball as they face off at home against Penn State. And women's basketball continues to improve this season as they gear up to face UCLA on Thursday this week.
There are places in this world where hope is a rare and precious gift. But in those places, there exist ships of mercy, driven by the hearts and hands of volunteers who believe in something bigger than themselves. Working together, they found their purpose, serving those with the greatest need and discovering what it means to give their all. To see how you can change lives, visit mercyships.org today.
One more time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
When you hear the words nonprofit organization, what comes to mind? Is it a place your dog called home before finding you? Is it an organization that supports accessibility or fights for our most basic needs? It's impossible to show all the ways nonprofit organizations make a difference in our world. But it's not impossible to be part of it. Reach out to a nonprofit organization that inspires you today to find how you can help make the world a better place.
It's Tuesday, and welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm JD Black.
And I'm Caleb Carter. It's a good Tuesday because it is game day. After falling to number 7 ranked Purdue on Friday, the USC men's basketball team comes back to the Galen Center as they face off against the Penn State Nittany Lions tonight. After back-to-back losses, convincing losses to Minnesota and UCLA, the Nittany Lions are looking for a spark. Currently on a 5-game losing streak, Penn State will be looking to pick up their 4th Big Ten Conference win on the season. USC will be looking for their 6th, bouncing back from a 2-game losing streak of their own. The Trojans, ranked number 10 in the conference, are going to need to begin to string together wins if they want better positioning in the Big Ten tournament. A win today over Penn State would be a nice way to build momentum and get things started. So JD, it's been an up and down season for Coach Musselman and the Trojans. What do you think that they can do to get the ship right?
Well, you know, I think that a lot of people view these losing streaks as a negative thing, but I think it's honestly a good chance to switch that momentum. I think it's a great motivator.
Yeah.
And I think that the USC Trojans tonight can use that to motivate and pick up the energy for tonight's game. You know, that being said, Penn State is also coming off of a losing streak, so they might also be able to bring that same sort of energy. But, you know, I think the Trojans can for sure come in with a lot more energy and see if that can help their outcome.
Absolutely. I mean, this game means a lot for the Trojans. I mean, they should win this game over Penn State, who is last ranked in the Big Ten, but you never know when you have your star player in Desmond Claude out with injury. So you're going to need players like Wesley Yates to step up. You're going to need the bench to do their role, and you're going to need just guys like St. Thomas, who didn't have his best game going against Purdue, to really up the production, and I think they'll come out with the victory.
For sure. No, I think that's I think that's a great point, and, you know, I think they got it tonight.
Absolutely.
I'll be there to see it. The Crosstown Showdown is this Thursday as the number 6 ranked USC Trojans host the number 1 UCLA Bruins. Let's hear what Coach Lindsay Gottlieb has to say at practice today.
Yeah, I mean, we've had tough games all throughout the year, and I think one of the things that puts us where we are in the rankings, you know, when you look at the quad 1 wins or whatever it is, that, you know, we haven't shied away from any competition, and we've been able to go on the road and win. We've been able to win at home. You know, we've, I think, risen to moments for the most part against other really good teams, and that's what makes it better.
USC struggled early on in the season against their second-ranked opponent, Notre Dame, in a game that featured difficulty for the Trojans on both sides of the court. As the season progressed, the Trojans were able to tidy up their act in a strong performance against UConn and most recently dominate Ohio State at home. The USC women have performed very well against ranked opponents this season, winning 4 out of 5 games in their 21-2 overall season and showing that they are ready to play on the big stage. Still, Thursday will be no easy feat for the Trojans as UCLA is one of their strongest opponents. But it sure will be an exciting game, and I'll see you there.
Welcome to our newest segment on ATVN Sports. Are you kidding me? Our weekly segment will capture some of the wildly impressive performances in the sports world that make you go, are you kidding me? And the USC swim team did exactly that on Friday. It's a boat, it's a fish, it's the USC men's swimming team. The Trojans made waves and ripples roll as they drowned the competition this past Friday. Sweeping UNLV in all 14 events, the Trojans dominated the waters, finishing top 3 in 6 events and winning the dual meet by a landslide. JD, are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you, Caleb. That team is something else. But let me ask you this. Did you see the Nike Super Bowl ad that featured none other than the Trojans' very own Juju Watkins? That's right. This past weekend, USC women's basketball star Juju Watkins appeared in a Nike advertisement alongside legends of women's sports. Get used to the name because this will not be the last time you hear it in the same conversation as greats like Suni Lee, Caitlin Clark, and Sha'Carri Richardson. So, Caleb, winning a swim meet is great, but the Super Bowl is a whole other level.
You know, JD, I do have to agree with you on that. But when we think about what the USC men's swimming team did, I mean, those are men swimming like fish. Are you kidding me?
You know, that is a great question. That they are truly showing something. But, you know, I got to say, Juju Watkins is carrying this women's basketball team a beautiful season so far. Well, that's it for ATVN Sports this Tuesday, and I'm JD Black.
And I'm Caleb Carter. Now over to Kayla to hear more about what the Trojans are up to.
Thanks, JD and Caleb. If you're looking to get fit but running is too intimidating, try Hawk Girl Walk instead. Amelia Paz has all the details on this latest fitness trend up next.
You ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see?
Oh, Max, you broke it. No, don't do that. Bad boy.
Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3. I'll be there.
I believe most people are good and most mamas ought to qualify for sainthood. I believe most Friday nights look better under stadium lights. I believe you love who you love, ain't nothing you should ever be ashamed of. I believe this world ain't half as bad as it looks. I believe most people are good. I thank God for my life and for the stars and stripes. May freedom forever fly. Let it ring. Salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love.
Thank you, and welcome home.
like our chicken fried.
Welcome back to Pay It Forward, where we highlight Trojans who are making a difference. Have you heard of the Hot Girl Walk? I know I have. USC Annenberg alum Mia Lind founded and created the Hot Girl Walk. What started as a social media trend has gone beyond the screen and into the outdoors. The Hot Girl Walk is now a community of over 100,000 people worldwide. Mia Lind and her organization host weekly walks in a wide range of locations from Santa Monica to London. Anyone can sign up who wants to be active, meet new people, and most importantly, empower themselves.
The Hot Girl Walk means to me community. It means just getting out, experiencing the diversity of community and just walking with other like-minded women and just experiencing the beauty of getting out in the morning, starting your day.
It does help clear my mind a lot because while I'm walking, although I'm walking with other women and chatting, it's also giving me the opportunity to tell them about my week, you know, any stressors. And so mentally, it is therapeutic.
Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with the founder and the creator of the Hot Girl Walk, Mia Lind. Mia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's bring us back to the basics. Where did you get the idea for the Hot Girl Walk?
So I started the Hot Girl Walk as a means to deal with the negative impacts of isolation during COVID. I decided to do something just as simple as going outside and going on a walk, and I created a 3-step methodology. First, to think about the things I'm grateful for, next my goals, and then lastly, I always say how hot you are, but it's really all about confidence, hence the name Hot Girl Walk.
So speaking of empowerment, which is what the Hot Girl Walk is all about, what do you want your participants to feel when they go on their Hot Girl Walk?
So no matter where we are, London, Miami, LA, New York City, we find a big sense of loneliness among Gen Z aged people, women, really all in these cities. So we really want our community to feel a sense of connection. That's the most important thing that we want people to leave with.
And I hear philanthropy is also a big part of the Hot Girl Walk and giving back. Can you tell us a recent initiative that you have taken?
Right, so we have an initiative called Hot Girl Walk for Good, which is our way to connect with local nonprofits in all of the communities that we do our Hot Girl Walks in. Most recently, we worked with the Downtown Women's Center as a way to help those that were affected by the fires that devastated Southern California. We collected gift cards that were sent out to those who were affected with the Downtown Women's Center. And if you are interested in participating in a Hot Girl Walk, you can follow us on Instagram at Hot Girl Walk.
I definitely will do that, Mia. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For more stories just like Mia, tune in next week on Pay It Forward. For Annenberg Media, I'm Amelia Paz.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone here at Annenberg Media, I'm Lauren Sung.
And I'm Kayla Quintero. For more coverage, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time. Good night.